Listen to me. There are moments in your life when you look at your situation and everything and you whispers, it's too late, it's too far gone, maybe it wasn't meant for me, but right now I want you to feel this truth, shake in your spirit awake. God is saying, I'm still going to do it for you. Even when you think the window has closed, even when the world tries to convince you that your season has passed, God still has the final word. And His word to you in this moment is a word of power, a word of certainty, a word of unstoppable promise. God is not finished. God has not withdrawn His plan. God has not abandoned what He spoke over your life. What He began, He is still going to complete, and no force of darkness, no human opinion, no unexpected delay can overturn what God has decided to do for you. There is someone listening right now, and you have been feeling discouraged because you thought God forgot what He promised you. You thought too much time had slipped away. You thought the wrong people damaged the right opportunity. You thought your own mistakes disqualified you. But hear this with every fiber of your being. God does not cancel His promise because of time, because of people, or because of your past. God fulfills His promise because He is God, faithful, consistent, sovereign, and unstoppable. There is nothing you have done that can make God abandon His word. There is no delay that can weaken His plan. When God says He will do something, it becomes a spiritual decree, a divine certainty, a timeline that cannot be erased by the disruptions of life. You see, your delay is not denial. Your waiting season is not punishment. Your unanswered prayers are not signs of abandonment. Your slow progress is not evidence of failure. Many people misunderstand waiting. They think waiting means God is silent, God is distant, God is ignoring them. But waiting is often the clearest sign that God is working, because God prepares what He promises. God shapes what He sends. God reforms the vessel before He releases the blessing. When the process feels long, it's because the blessing is weighty. When the journey feels tiring, it's because the fulfillment is powerful. You are not simply waiting, you are being positioned, strengthened, expanded, elevated, and prepared by God Himself. There are things God will do instantly in your life, but the greatest things, your calling, your destiny, your purpose, your breakthrough, those are not microwave blessings. Those are cultivated blessings. God takes His time with what matters, and you matter. The promise He gave you matters. The doors He will open for you matter. The influence He will entrust to you matters. And God is saying, I'm still going to do it for you. Even if it looks like circumstances have collapsed, even if it feels like your strength has run out, even if others have walked ahead and you feel left behind, God is still going to do it. Not because the situation looks good, not because you feel strong, not because everything is perfectly aligned. No, God will do it because He already decided it. God will do it because He designed you for it. God will do it because His timing holds more power than human timelines. Some of you have been fighting silent battles. Battles in your mind, battles in your heart, battles in your home. And you've been asking God, when will things change for me? You've been faithful, you've been patient, you've been obedient, you've been giving your best even when no one sees your effort. And even though you are tired, even though you are exhausted, even though you wonder if anything will ever shift, God is sending you this message. Do not give up. I'm still going to do it for you. When God speaks like this, it means something is already moving in the unseen realm. It means circumstances are beginning to align. It means people you haven't met yet are being positioned to help you. It means opportunities are being formed. It means closed doors are weakening and new doors are strengthening. It means the environment around you may not show it yet, but your breakthrough has already been activated. God does not need visible evidence to work. God does not need favorable conditions. God does not need human approval. God creates impossible victories in impossible conditions. When the situation is the darkest, God shines the brightest. When the challenge is the biggest, God reveals the greatest power. When the obstacle is overwhelming, God brings overwhelming breakthrough. So if you feel like you're in a tight spot, if you feel like your options are shrinking, if you feel like everything around you is pressing against you, remember this: God often does His greatest work when you are completely out of options. Because when you can no longer rely on your plans, your strategies, your connections, your knowledge, then God's power becomes undeniable. Then God's intervention becomes unmistakable. Then God's fulfillment becomes unstoppable. I want you to understand something deep and unshakable. God does not forget what He promised His people. Human beings forget. Circumstances shift. Feelings fluctuate. Seasons change. But God remains consistent. What He spoke over your life years ago is still active today. Every word God has spoken carries the same power it carried on the day He first whispered it into your heart. Every vision He placed inside you is still alive. Every dream He ignited within you is still burning. You may feel like the fire has died down, but it has not disappeared. God is the one who sparks the flame again. God is the one who breathes life back into the promise. God is the one who restores the passion you lost. God is the one who waters the seeds that have been hidden in the soil of time. And God is saying, I am still going to make it grow. I am still going to bring it to pass. There are promises you thought were dead, but they are not dead. They were buried so they could grow. They were covered so they could develop roots. They were hidden so God could strengthen them in the unseen. Some of your biggest breakthroughs will not come from newly planted seeds. They will come from seeds God planted long ago. Seeds you forgot about, seeds you gave up on, seeds you no longer believed in. But God remembers every seed. And God is saying, I'm still going to do it for you. Not because you are perfect. Not because you have done everything right. Not because your journey has been flawless. But because God is faithful even when you feel faithless. God is consistent even when you feel inconsistent. God's plan does not collapse because you stumble. God's promise does not expire because you made mistakes. God's purpose does not vanish because you faced setbacks. What God decides, no failure can cancel. Some of you have been facing emotional battles that have drained you. You've been fighting thoughts of doubt, fear, anxiety, rejection, insecurity. You've been wrestling with the feeling that maybe you're not chosen, not special, not worthy of the breakthrough you prayed for. But God did not design you to live defeated. God did not create you to remain in fear. God did not form you to walk with uncertainty in your identity. God crafted you with intention, with purpose, with divine precision. And when God looks at you, He sees potential you haven't discovered yet. He sees doors you haven't walked through yet. He sees victories you haven't stepped into yet. God sees the end from the beginning, and He is saying, I'm still going to do it for you because I made you for it. Sometimes your greatest blessing comes after your greatest disappointment. Sometimes your greatest opportunity comes after your greatest heartbreak. Sometimes your greatest breakthrough comes after your greatest setback. God has a pattern of allowing you to face battles just before He releases the blessing. Why? Because struggle prepares the spirit. Pressure strengthens the heart. Trials purify intentions. Challenges sharpen focus. The enemy often attacks hardest when you are closest to stepping into what God prepared for you. So if your life has been more difficult lately, if your challenges have increased, if your battles have intensified, this is not a sign that God is far. It is a sign that God is extremely close. Your breakthrough is near. Your season is turning. Your harvest is approaching. And God is declaring with power, I'm still going to do it for you. You might feel like too many things went wrong at once. You might feel like nothing is aligning. You might feel like everything is fighting against your movement. But remember this, the greater the calling, the greater the resistance, the greater the blessing, the greater the pressure, the greater the promise, the greater the preparation. God is strengthening you so you can carry what He's about to release. God is stretching you so you can handle the weight of blessing without collapsing under it. God is shaping your character so your destiny will not be destroyed by unpreparedness. You are not suffering for no reason. You are being refined for a divine purpose. What feels like opposition is often preparation. What feels like delay is divine handling. What feels like confusion is God clearing out the old version of you so the new version can rise. Do you know why God is still going to do it for you? Because He has invested too much in you to let your story end in disappointment. He has poured too much wisdom into you. He has carried you through too many nights. He has rescued you from too many dangers. He has seen you push through when you wanted to quit. He has watched you hold on to faith when everything around you said to let go. God is not about to let the enemy write the ending of your story. God is not about to let fear dictate your future. God is not about to let failure define your identity. You belong to God, and what belongs to God cannot be abandoned, cannot be forgotten, cannot be overlooked. You are divinely claimed, divinely covered, divinely guided. And God always finishes what He starts in the lives of those who trust Him. Think about where you were years ago. Think about the situations God carried you out of. Think about the moments that could have destroyed you but didn't. Think about the times you felt like giving up, but something inside you told you to hold on a little longer. That was God. That was God whispering strength into your spirit. That was God protecting you from attacks you didn't see. That was God shielding you when you didn't know you were in danger. That was God preparing you for a destiny you were not yet ready to carry. If God brought you this far, do you truly believe He would stop now? No. God finishes His work. God completes His assignments. God fulfills His promises. What He said, He will do. What He planned, He will perform. What He decreed, He will manifest. Some people stopped believing in you. Some people walked away from you. Some people doubted your potential. Some people underestimated your resilience. Some people thought your story was over, but they are not God. They do not decide your destiny. They do not determine your outcome. They do not have authority over your promise. God alone has authority. And God is saying, I'm still going to do it for you. He does not need the approval of those who doubted you. He does not need the support of those who walked away from you. He does not need validation from the world to bless your life. God will bless you in front of people who said you'd never make it. God will elevate you in front of those who thought you were unqualified. God will open doors that no critic, no enemy, no hater can shut. God is about to prove that His promise has more power than human opinions. You have cried silent tears. You have prayed prayers that no one heard. You have endured pain that no one understood. But God saw every tear. God heard every prayer. God felt every wound. God noticed every battle. And God is not ignoring your suffering. God is not overlooking your effort. God is not dismissing your faithfulness. God is preparing a blessing that matches the magnitude of the battles you fought. You are not going to be rewarded with something small. You are not going to receive something ordinary. What God is about to do in your life will exceed every expectation. It will silence every doubt. It will erase every fear. It will heal every wound. It will restore everything you lost. It will elevate everything you are. And when it happens, you will know without a shadow of doubt that this was God. You may feel like you've been walking through a long valley, but valleys lead to mountains. You may feel like your season has been heavy, but heaviness precedes elevation. You may feel like your process has been painful, but pain precedes transformation. God is not allowing you to walk through difficult seasons to break you. He is allowing them to remake you. What is coming is greater than what was lost. What is ahead is better than what is behind. What God is preparing is bigger than anything you imagined. You have been stretching. You have been breaking. You have been enduring because God is preparing you for something immense. And He is saying, I'm still going to do it for you. Do not measure my power by your timeline. Do not measure my promise by your feelings. Do not measure my word by your circumstances. What I promised is already set in motion. Even if the world tells you to lower your expectations, God is telling you to raise them. Even if the world tells you to accept less, God is telling you to believe for more. Even if people tell you to be realistic, God is telling you to be faith-filled. God has never been limited by what is realistic. God moves in the supernatural, in the unseen, in the realm beyond logic. And when God moves in your life, it won't look like something you achieve through your own strength. It will look like something only God could do. There will be no confusion. There will be no doubt. It will be clear that God's hand brought it to pass, and there will come a moment so sudden, so precise, so divinely orchestrated that everything you've been waiting for will meet you at the exact point where God has prepared your heart to receive it. Not earlier, not later, but in the fullness of God's timing. That is why you cannot allow frustration to rewrite your faith. You cannot allow impatience to drown your confidence. You cannot allow weariness to make you misinterpret what God is doing behind the scenes. Because every time you feel like nothing is happening, something is unfolding. Every time you feel like heaven is silent, God is working with intentionality. Every time you feel overlooked, God is positioning you quietly for a moment of undeniable elevation. God hides you before He reveals you. God delays you before He promotes you. God stretches you before He blesses you. And none of these stages are wasted. Every step is a necessary preparation for the fullness of what God is still going to do for you. Some of you think you're being held back. But you're not being held back. You're being held in place. And there is a difference. Being held back implies resistance, restriction, sabotage. But being held in place implies protection, preparation, and divine timing. God is not withholding anything from you. God is preserving something for you. God is not saying no. God is saying not yet, because I'm preparing something bigger, something safer, something more powerful than you imagined. You see, sometimes God delays what you prayed for, because the version of you that prayed the prayer is not yet the version of you that can sustain the answer. And God loves you too much to give you something prematurely. God does not release blessings that will become burdens. God does not open doors that will collapse under unprepared shoulders. God does not elevate you to environments where your character has not been shaped to endure. God always prepares the vessel before He pours out the blessing. And some of you are being prepared in secret. No one sees what you're enduring. No one sees the nights you've cried. No one sees the sacrifices you've made. No one sees the battles you fought alone. But God saw it all. God saw the moments you stayed faithful when it would have been easier to quit. God saw you hold on to hope when everything around you said give up. God saw you choose integrity when compromise would have been more convenient. God saw you walk into the fire but refusing to lose your spirit. And because God saw it, God will honor it. God will reward it. God will respond to it. What you did quietly, God will elevate publicly. What you endured privately, God will transform into a public testimony. This is why God is saying, I'm still going to do it for you, not because of your perfection, but because of your persistence. Not because of your flawless faith, but because of your willingness to keep going even when your faith trembled. There are blessings that are too great to be rushed. There are breakthroughs too strategic to appear prematurely. There are divine connections too important to arrive casually. So when God takes His time, it is never hesitation, it is precision. Every moment of waiting becomes a thread in the fabric of your destiny. And once God weaves it all together, you will understand why the delays had purpose. You will understand why certain people were removed. You will understand why certain doors did not open. You will understand why certain opportunities fell apart. God was not rejecting you, He was redirecting you. God was not punishing you, He was protecting you. God was not ignoring you, He was integrating every detail of your life into a promise far larger than your expectations. When God moves, He does not simply give you what you ask for, He gives you what your destiny requires. And that is why God is saying, do not lose heart. I am still going to do it for you. Because He knows how close you are. He knows how much you've endured. He knows the spiritual weight you've been carrying. He knows the resilience you've developed. And He knows the exact moment when everything must shift. Do you realize that breakthroughs often happen at the point where most people give up? Not because the breakthrough is far away, but because the process becomes the most intense right before the release. Pressure increases before birth. Darkness deepens before dawn. Silence intensifies before sound breaks through. This is how God moves. When everything feels like it's tightening around you, that is often the sign that you are about to step into a moment of divine transformation that will redefine your entire life. Some of you think you've been walking alone. But God has been walking beside you, guiding you, whispering strength into your heart, turning your weaknesses into weapons, turning your tears into fuel, turning your setbacks into stepping stones. You did not survive this far on your own strength. Something carried you, something held you, something sustained you. That something was God's hand. God did not let you collapse. God did not let the enemy destroy you. God did not let your mind fall apart. God did not let life crush your spirit. If you survive battles that should have broken you, then surely God will complete the blessings prepared for you. Survival is proof of future fulfillment. If God kept you through the storm, it is because the promise on the other side of that storm is still active. And God wants you to know, nothing has weakened His promise. Nothing you faced has canceled His plan. Nothing the enemy tried has altered your destiny. You see, God's promises are not fragile. They do not expire. They do not depend on human approval. They do not dissolve in difficulty. God's promises withstand storms, endure delays, and outlive opposition. If God told you He would heal, restore, elevate, and transform your life, then it is already established. You cannot measure the certainty of God's promise by the uncertainty of your circumstances. Circumstances shift, but God does not. Feelings fluctuate, but God does not. People change, but God does not. Your life may feel unstable right now, but the one who holds your life is unshakably stable. And when God says, I'm still going to do it for you, it is not a suggestion, it is a decree. It is a spiritual guarantee. It is a divine announcement. It means heaven has already moved on your behalf. It means the outcome has already been written. It means the blessing is already in motion. It means the breakthrough is already forming. If you saw what God has prepared behind the scenes, your heart would explode with joy. If you knew how close you were to stepping into a new dimension of favor, you would not doubt another second. If you could see what God sees, you would understand why the fight has been so intense. Great battles surround great breakthroughs, and there will come a moment when you realize that nothing in your life was random, nothing wasted, nothing meaningless, nothing accidental. Every step, every season, every struggle, every delay was orchestrated with divine intention. God has been the author of your journey from the beginning, writing chapters you didn't understand, crafting scenes that felt confusing, allowing moments that stretched your faith, but all of it has been building toward a divine fulfillment that only God could design. God does not assemble your life the way humans assemble plans. Humans plan around logic, God plans around destiny. Humans plan around time, God plans around purpose. Humans plan around comfort, God plans around transformation. This is why what God has prepared for you is far greater than what you expected, because God plans with eternity in mind, not just a moment. You see, there are some seasons where God allows you to feel empty, not to punish you, but to create space for something greater. You cannot receive new wisdom if you cling to old patterns. You cannot step into new blessings if your hands are full of old disappointments. You cannot walk into a new season carrying the weight of a season that has already expired. So God empties you, not to break you, but to refill you. God removes what no longer serves your purpose. God strips away what was draining your strength. God disconnects you from what was limiting your growth. And while it may feel painful, it is never harmful. God's pruning is always purposeful. God never removes without replacing. God never takes without restoring. God never allows loss without planning greater gain. So if you have felt stripped, emptied, or broken, it is only because God is preparing you to receive something that requires more room in your spirit than you currently have. And this is why God is saying, I'm still going to do it for you. Because what you thought you lost, God is going to replace with something more powerful. What you thought slipped away, God is going to resurrect in a better form. What you thought was over, God is going to rewrite with glory. When God restores, He does not bring you back to where you were. He elevates you beyond where you've ever been. God does not just return what was taken, He multiplies what was taken. God does not just fix what was broken, He transforms it into something stronger. God does not just heal your wounds, He turns them into wisdom. God does not just lift you up, He teaches you how to walk in authority. Every restoration God brings is greater than the original, because God specializes in taking what was meant to destroy you and using it to redefine you. And there are blessings that require maturity, not because you are unworthy, but because the weight is great. God is not preparing small opportunities for you. God is preparing opportunities that will require emotional strength, spiritual depth, mental clarity, and unwavering faith. And so the challenges you face were not designed to weaken you. They were designed to sharpen you. Trials have been developing your endurance. Disappointments have been purifying your motives. Loneliness has been strengthening your confidence. Delays have been stretching your patience. Unknown seasons have been shaping your trust. You are not who you used to be. You have grown. You have changed. You have been transformed. And God will never release a powerful blessing into the hands of an unprepared vessel. You are being molded, shaped, and refined because what God is about to do in your life carries a spiritual weight that requires a fortified spirit. There are doors God is preparing to open for you that do not simply demand talent. They demand character. There are platforms God will give you that do not simply require skills. They require humility. There are blessings coming your way that do not simply require desire. They require discipline. God is shaping you for what He is sending. God is preparing you for what He promised. God is ushering you into a level of destiny that will make sense of everything you went through. You may not have understood the pain, but you will understand the purpose. You may not have understood the delay, but you will understand the timing. You may not have understood the separation, but you will understand the protection. What confused you in one season will become clear in the next. God is always several steps ahead, building a future you can't yet see, but will one day step into with awe. And God wants you to know the reason you survived what others collapsed under is because your story carries a different assignment. You were not designed to break. You were designed to rise. You were not created to be crushed. You were created to be strengthened. You were not placed on this earth to live afraid. You were placed to walk with spiritual authority, and every battle you've endured has been equipping you for the level God is taking you to. The weight of your struggles is a sign of the height of your calling. The intensity of your battles is a sign of the magnitude of your destiny. Great battles surround great breakthroughs. And if the enemy fought you hard, it is because God's promise over your life is too powerful to ignore. Darkness does not attack the ordinary, it attacks the chosen. And you have been chosen for something extraordinary. This is why God has not withdrawn His promise. This is why God has not canceled His plan. This is why every time you came close to giving up, something inside you refused to break. Because God Himself placed endurance in your spirit. God whispered strength into your weakness. God breathed resilience into your soul. God sustained you when everything around you fell apart. You are not standing here by coincidence. You are standing because God held you together. When life tried to take your hope, God guarded it. When people tried to wound your spirit, God restored it. When circumstances tried to shake your identity, God anchored it. You have been carried by a power greater than anything that stood against you. And now God is speaking with clarity. I am still going to do it for you. Not just because it is promised, but because it is time. Time for doors to open, time for favor to flow, time for restoration to manifest, time for healing to rise, time for breakthroughs to unfold, time for old cycles to break, time for new chapters to begin, time for the prayers you whispered through tears to be answered with divine precision. Nothing can stop what God has released. Nothing can slow what God has accelerated. Nothing can weaken what God has strengthened. Your season of waiting is turning into a season of receiving. You will witness the faithfulness of God in ways you never imagined. You will see God turn impossibilities into testimonies. You will watch God open paths where there were none. You will experience breakthroughs that make you fall to your knees in awe. Because when God acts, He acts in fullness. When God restores, He restores completely. When God elevates, He elevates beyond expectation. When God answers, He answers in ways that silence every doubt. The blessing coming your way will not be partial. It will be complete. It will not be temporary. It will be lasting. It will not be ordinary. It will be divine. And now, as this message settles into your spirit, let it awaken a deeper knowing. a quiet, unshakable certainty that God has not forgotten you, not for a moment, not for a second, not in any season of your life. Every tear you shed has been collected. Every prayer you whispered has been heard. Every hope you fought to keep alive has been seen. God has been watching over you with a wisdom far greater than your understanding and a compassion far deeper than your pain. And at this very moment, God is aligning circumstances, opening pathways, and preparing results that will confirm what your heart has been trying to believe, that God's promise still stands. There will be a moment when everything becomes clear, when every struggle falls into purpose, when every delay reveals its meaning, when every disappointment proves to have been divine protection. You will see why God didn't let certain people stay. You will understand why certain opportunities slipped through your fingers. You will recognize why doors closed that you desperately wanted to enter. It was never rejection, it was redirection. It was never abandonment, it was preparation. It was never failure, it was formation. God has been shaping you into someone capable of carrying the very blessing you were praying for. So walk forward with courage. Walk forward with expectation. Walk forward with a spirit that refuses to settle for fear, doubt, or discouragement. God is not asking you to figure everything out. God is simply asking you to trust. Trust that what He started, He will finish. Trust that what He promised, He will fulfill. Trust that what has been delayed is not denied. Trust that what feels quiet is only being perfected behind the scenes. Trust that what God has spoken over your life is stronger than any obstacle standing before you. Because God is saying, I am still going to do it for you. Not because of your perfection, but because of His promise. Not because of your strength, but because of His plan. Not because of your certainty, but because of His unchanging nature. And when God decides to move, no force can stop Him. Not fear, not failure, not the enemy, not circumstances, not time. Divine timing cannot be rushed, and divine promises cannot be broken. So lift your head, strengthen your heart, hold your faith with both hands. You are stepping into a season where God will show you why you had to endure, why you had to wait, why you had to trust even when trusting felt impossible. And when it finally unfolds, when the blessing arrives, when the healing manifests, when the breakthrough appears, you will know that it was God who carried you, God who sustained you, God who prepared you, and God who fulfilled every word spoken over your life. Your story is not ending in delay, defeat, or disappointment. Your story is unfolding with divine accuracy, and the one who promised is faithful. God is still going to do it for you. In those final quiet moments of reflection, let your heart absorb this truth. When God decides to fulfill something in your life, no power in the heavens or the earth can stand in His way. You may feel exhausted. You may feel delayed. You may feel like the promise is slipping out of your hands. But God has not withdrawn His word. God has not changed His mind. God has not altered His plan. What He declared over your life still carries divine weight, and nothing has the authority to erase what God has written with His own hand. So lift your head. You are not walking toward the promise alone. You are walking with the one who created the very path beneath your feet. You are not waiting in vain. You are waiting with God's intention wrapped around your destiny. You are not fighting for your future. You are standing with the God who has already secured it. And when the moment comes, when His timing aligns with your season, you will see how perfect, how intentional, how breathtaking His deliverance is. Hold on a little longer. Believe a little deeper. Trust a little stronger. Because God is not finished with you, not even close. God is preparing a moment that will silence your doubts, stun your enemies, heal your wounds, and lift your spirit to heights you never imagined. You will look back and say, now I understand why the wait was necessary. Now I see why the delay was divine. Now I know God was working the entire time. And when it happens, it will not just bless you, it will transform you. It will strengthen your faith, deepen your gratitude, and open your eyes to a side of God that you could only discover through waiting. So stand firm, stay expectant, hold your peace, because God is whispering to your spirit even now, I am still going to do it for you.